Well, good evening, everyone. I am glad that you were able to join me tonight. This is a special Zoom presentation. Many of you had responded to some Facebook posts that I had created over the last week or so, and I'd sent you information, and I wanted to make sure you had enough information. So rather than just to send you another video, I just wanted to do a Zoom so that we could cover some information that might help you understand a little bit more than you do right now. My name is Donnie Anderson, and I've been involved with this business for just under a year. And real quick, let me just kind of tell you how I got involved and why I'm even here today. I've been in the network marketing direct sales industry for 29 years. 20 years with the last company I was with, and I am still with them from a residual point of view. But I had retired about about 3 years ago because I was having kidney problems. My kidneys were failing me and I needed a kidney transplant. That was about 3 years ago. Now, 2.5 years ago, I got my kidney transplant. But I was already retired, even though I felt really good after I had my transplant. I just wasn't ready to get back into the heat of the day because I had already done it for 29 years and financially my family was set. So I didn't need to do it, but when my friend Mark came over and visited with my wife and me, uh, after I learned everything that I learned about this company and this technology and product, I looked at my wife and I said, let's do it one more time. We couldn't help but get involved because of what it is and the position the company's in. So that gives you a little bit of background on me. Now, we've got a couple of types of people that are with us today. And so I'm going to do this presentation in phase one and phase two. Some of you have indicated to me that you're only interested in looking at the product, the stem cell technology, and so forth. And I respect that. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the first part for you, and then we'll leave phase two for those that want to look more at the business as well as the technology. In phase one, here's what we're going to cover real quick. We're going to cover the scientist and the inventor of this. We're going to cover how the U.S. Navy, the Olympics, college, NFL, NBA, and basically all sports play into why you've even got this patch to to begin with. Then we're going to talk about the stem cell revolution and the patented stem cell activation. So let's get after it. Before we do anything, I want to just give you a disclaimer here. I want to read this to you. Welcome to the Team Zoom. It is important for you to know that product testimonials are direct reflections of someone's personal story, and they may not be typical for all people. We do not treat or cure chronic sicknesses or diseases. LifeWave's phototherapy patches do not heal or cure people. God designed the human body to heal itself, given the right conditions for the body to function at its optimal level. Consult your healthcare professional or doctor for advice regarding treatment of sickness and disease. That's our disclaimer as it relates to the patches. Our disclaimer for income is that we don't guarantee anything. It's like any other business. You get out of it what you put into it. But it's certainly a wonderful opportunity. Now, the first thing I did when I first started looking at this is I wanted to see who was behind all of this. Who was the inventor? Who was the CEO? Who was the guy that was the brains behind all of this? And I started digging. And what I found out is David Schmidt is the CEO and inventor of the X39 stem cell activation patch. He is the scientist and inventor, specializes in age reversing. In 2008, David focused his attention on stem cell research. He invested 10 years of his own time and $4.5 million of his own money in this quest to understand stem cells. Now, let's talk a little bit about how some other entities play into what we're talking about today. I want you to understand why the patches that we've got are even here. What set the wheels in motion? Well, in 2002, the U.S. Navy and Defense Department contracted with David Schmidt to come up with an energy enhancer for the Navy SEALs. So when the Navy SEALs come off of assignment, they're spent. Their energy is gone. Now the body will naturally bring it back up, but the Navy Department wanted something to come up with it faster. Okay, so they invented, David Schmidt, something called the energy enhancer, and he put it on a patented stem cell or a patented patch, the energy enhancer. This was so successful that he then took it to commercial with the LifeWave company. Now, as it relates to the other people involved in this presentation of mine, word got out about the energy enhancer to the major colleges, to the NFL, NBA, almost all sports teams, and they started using the energy enhancer patch. You can see all of these articles right here with the patch on these athletes. Athletes from all type walks of life were using the energy enhancement LifeWave patches. Why? Because they wanted a leg up, just like the Navy SEALs did. You can see it. So that's kind of how this all formed and began. Again, David Schmidt is, as I said earlier, he is the inventor. He is the person that has invested all of the time to create the X39 stem cell activation patch, and it launched in 2021. Let's take a look real quick at the company. Okay, I just told you why it was launched and why the product was launched and what was the brainchild behind that. Now let's take a look at the company real quick so you can kind of get a understanding that this is not a new startup company. LifeWave was a 20-year-old company. It went from $20 million to $600 million in 2024. That's a 3,000% increase since 2018. They're open in 80 countries. It's not a Me Too product either, like most companies. In other words, if you were either buying or selling healthcare products such as lotion, pills, vitamins, and so forth, you would be competing for the same customer that everyone is, commercial and network marketing. But we're not a Me Too product. And that's the bottom line right there. The key factor is this is a patented stem cell activation technology. No one is going to get this. It's owned by the founder and the creator, and it's patented. That's really important for you to understand. Well, once I saw these stats right here when I first started looking at this company and the owners and everything, this sold me right here. This told me I needed to come out of retirement and have some more fun building this business. It wasn't the money. I did not need that. Now it's going to be there, but it wasn't the money that brought me out. You're looking at it right there for a big part of it. Now, so we understand that it's stem cells. So let's talk a little bit about what are stem cells. By golly, stem cells are the master cells and the building blocks of the body. In other words, whatever we are, our stem cells created that. It's their job to naturally repair and renew our body. Stem cells are found throughout the body in various tissues and organs. And stem cells replenish dying cells and regenerate damaged tissue by entering the bloodstream, where they migrate to areas most in need of the repair. Okay, that's what it is. That's what the stem cells are. So now let's take a look at what's the problem. If you've got stem cells and they created us, why are we even here today? That's a good question. Hundreds of millions of people are experiencing symptoms of aging. Obviously, everyone alive is. The fewer stem cells you have, the faster you age and the slower you heal. The aging population, the senior population, the baby boomer population just take a look and think about the more you age, the more the skin starts to do weird things, and it starts to crinkle and so forth and so on. In other words, you age faster and you heal slower. By age 30, only half of your stem cells are active. By age 60, you lose almost all stem cell activity. That's why the X39 came into be to activate those stem cells. There it is. That's what it looks like. And this is what it looks like right here. Okay. Now, this is I wanted you to see a slide right here. This is a slide of a good friend of mine for 27 years that had eczema on his hands and wrists really bad, really bad. And I introduced this X39 stem cell activation patch to Dave in November. And by the first of the year, by January, everything was cleared up on his hands. And he has had this hand problem for decades. And now it's cleared up, and it's been another 8 months. And Dave is a happy, happy person. I don't think Dave is on here. I didn't see him. Uh, but anyway, what I want to do is I want to ask Mark. Let me see, Mark. How can I?
I got you.
Okay, I want to ask my friend Mark Delgado. He is actually the person that enrolled me in the business. I want Mark to come on and just kind of kind of give everybody a feeling for what happened to you, Mark.
Sure. Yeah, I had a good friend that I was in business with prior, and in a very, in the same type of industry, but a different company. We were in the health and wellness business for quite a long time. And he was retired just like Don. He was in full-time ministry. But he called, he was sharing me this technology, and he didn't know that I tore my MCL working out about 30 days prior to his phone call, and my orthopedic wanted to do surgery. And it felt like a knife was being jabbed in my knee. The discomfort was, no fun. And it was really difficult to walk. And I really wasn't been able to work out that much because it was just the discomfort was pretty high. And he was mentioning that it stopped he had frozen shoulder. His orthopedic said 16 to 20 months for it to recover. And in 6 days, it unlocked. 6 months, he had no issue. So my mind frame was, I trusted him enough. He was just here to share the technology. But also in the same sentence, he said he was going to make 10 times more than he ever made in his previous company. And he was the number one earner for 18 to 20 years and made over $45 million. So that kind of resonated with me, but it wasn't my interest. My interest was, I don't want to have knee surgery. And so I ordered the technology. I put it on my body. I did not have to have knee surgery. The discomfort totally went away. I was also going to the restroom every hour on the hour at night. I wasn't getting any sleep, nor was my wife. And in about 30 days, she informed me that I wasn't getting up anymore at night. And I didn't even notice that. My biggest miracle was now almost about 29 years ago. I had heat stroke so severely, it fried my body's mechanism to regulate heat. So the human body needs to regulate heat. It needs to perspire so heat can be released out of the body. Well, my body stopped doing it from the neck down. So the sun and the heat ruled my life for 28 years. It was miserable. I wasn't able to go out, do things outside for a long period of time because I just overheat. I couldn't even sit in the shade when it was hot outside. My body would overheat. That's how bad it was. And almost 10 months to the day that I peeled and stuck this patch on my body. It was June 23rd of 2024. I came home and I said, Jody, touch my arms and touch my legs. I am perspiring for the first time from my neck down. And ever since then, the sun, the heat does not regulate my life anymore. We just got back from the beach for a week, and I could sit on the beach all day long, and the water was warm. I could sit in the water. My body didn't overheat. I'm able to enjoy life like most normal people, and I don't have to worry about trying to sit in the car or just not do things just because my body wouldn't do it. So it was truly life-changing physically. And then because of that, Donnie will explain further in the second phase that there are market share dollars here just to go out there and share the message and change people's lives. And we just got very active in that. And just like, Don sharing it with Susan and helping her. discomfort in her foot. And that's just how it works. You change people's lives and you can get blessed in the process.
Amen. Thank you, Mark.
Sure.
Appreciate that. Okay, we're going to go over to another slide. I want you to hear the rest of my story because it's very important. Some of you saw this on Facebook. I told you I had a kidney transplant 2.5 years ago. I retired 3 years ago. But what you don't know is that for the last 5+ years, every month when I would have to get a metabolic panel blood test, and that told my kidney transplant team everything they needed to know about my health. And every month, it had many of the elements in it had been abnormal. Uh, we could never get everything back in the normal range. And when we started using the X39 patch, now I started using it personally so that I could get better sleep, I could feel better, and I could just have more energy. That's the only reason that I wanted to use it. Okay. And I started about the 1st of November last year. So that better sleep and health and feeling better came pretty quick. Just in with the first 2 or 3 weeks, I started feeling really good. And but something else happened that I wasn't expecting. Come the end of December, about 8 weeks after I started using the patch, it was time for my metabolic panel blood test. Again, this is something that tracks all of the functions of the liver and the kidneys. And it's what my team uses to know what condition I'm in. So anyway, I went and got my metabolic panel test, and and the results came back, and everything was in the normal range. You're looking at it right there for the first time in over 5 years. And the only difference I had ever done was this stem cell activation patch. Now, I didn't get super excited about that because it was just 1 month, but now it's been an additional 9 months, and I am still in normal range, and I am so thankful. I feel so good, and that's just kind of. But the thing about it is, I wasn't even looking for this. I didn't even know it was happening. So there you go. All right, we're going to move on with the rest of the information for phase one. One of the things I mentioned a little earlier, this is a patented technology. And we all probably know that in order to get a patent on something, you have to prove that it does exactly what you claim it's going to do. I'm not going to read all of this patent, but I'm going to give you a website at the end where you can go and dig as deep as you want to. But it does say this. The human body, for example, in some embodiments as a result of elevating copper peptide, including activation of stem cells, improvement in energy, elevation of antioxidants, reduction in inflammation, management of pain, improvement of stamina, elevation of collagen, improved wound healing. Those are some of the major things that the patent claim, and the patent is approved. So this is one thing that sets us apart from almost anyone else. Now, how does it work? Well, we use a proprietary form of phototherapy, a patented nanocrystal technology on the patch, and what it does, it reflects light to activate the dormant stem cells. Now, all of those stem cells that are dormant, you still got them. They're asleep. But here's one of the things that I looked at to make a decision I could use this patch. When I first saw it, I was skeptical on using it because my kidney team had always told me, don't do anything unless you get our approval, because of all of the anti-rejection meds that I take. But once I understood that nothing from this patch enters my body or my bloodstream, I felt pretty comfortable in using it anyway. So if it doesn't enter your bloodstream or enter your body, how does it work? I'm going to tell you in a very layman's way how it works. This patch has something in it called nanocrystals. Think of it as tiny mirrors, okay, in this patch. And your body is constantly emitting infrared rays. Always. It always does that. You've seen these detective shows where they shine the light on the crook out there in the weeds and they glow from that light. Well, that's those red lights emitting from their body. Well, what the nanocrystals in the patch does is when those lights leave the body, it comes in contact with this patch about the size of a quarter, and the patch turns that light back around and sends it into the body, and it connects with something called a copper peptide. That copper peptide then connects with the stem cells and activate that. So that's the layman's term of how this works. Okay, it's non-transdermal. There's no drug or chemical in it. It's really non-invasive. So, okay, the benefits of the X39. This is pretty cool. Increased strength, reduce inflammation. If you can reduce inflammation, you can get a lot of healing going on. Increased stamina. I love that. Energy and vitality. Mental clarity, restores muscle, skeletal conditions, improvement of sleep, improved skin appearance. Uh, Now, here's some of the long-term results per case studies, okay? And I'm going to show you where you can see every one of those. In the first few days, 4,000 genes begin to reset. That's almost a third of your genes. Just in the first few days, begin to wake up and reset. And one of them is the stem cell gene. Within 6 weeks, your brain becomes balanced. Its left side starts talking to the right side. Within 3 months, your collagen is increased. Remember, I was talking earlier about healing slow. Well, for people that are aging, and I know them personally, that thing starts to happen in the collagen in your skin. And it is such a pleasure to have something that starts to increase that collagen again. And within 6 months, your heart reverses in age. That's pretty cool. It's not anti-aging, it's age reversing. So those are some of the cool things. How to wear the patch. You put it basically where you need it. Uh, you put it on 12 hours during the day. My wife and I put ours on about 8 o'clock in the morning, take them off about 8 o'clock at night, go to bed. That lets our body regenerate from what it's been doing all day. And it's very important to stay very hydrated throughout the day. That's important anyway for any condition, but especially with this technology, you got to stay hydrated. Now, you see right here, it shows to place the patch below the belly button and above around the bottom vertebrae and the neck on the back. That's because when they applied for the patent, they had to have a place for it. So that's what they used. But the founder says you can put it anywhere. I put mine on the back of my hand many times or on the wrist. I do this when I'm out in public just talking to people and I want them to say, "What's that?" which they do. Then I have a chance to explain it to them. So that's where it was. Now, we're going to cover two of these positions. 3 ways to get started. Number one, you can become a customer. You can enjoy the benefits of rebooting your own stem cells. The retail cost for a patch, let me explain what a patch is. This is what a patch looks like. And inside this patch is another patch that looks like this. It says X39. And inside this, there are 30 quarter-size patches for a month's supply. Okay. This retail is $149.95. I don't know why you'd want to pay retail. I don't want you to, because if you just want to be a customer and use the product, you can become a preferred customer. It's free to become a preferred customer. You get it at distributor cost of $99.95, and you just sign up for a subscription monthly so that you'll get a new sleeve every month. And if you need to cancel that, it's really easy to do. But that's how you can get involved as a customer. Again, as retail or as a preferred customer at distributor cost. I know which one I'd rather have. Okay. Now, for the those that are looking at this purely as a product to use as an end user, I want you to understand something. I want you to understand the the guarantee that LifeWave gives. This will help you understand they really don't want you to lose any money under any circumstances. You can cancel your agreement with LifeWave at any time. Through LifeWave's 90-day back guarantee, you can obtain a full refund, excluding shipping costs, by canceling and returning your initial order within 90 days of purchase. Ongoing, for subsequent product purchases, you may also receive a full refund, excluding shipping costs, by returning all unopened products within 30 days of purchase. Again, you may also receive up to a 90% refund for returning the products within 1 year from the purchase. Now, this tells you right up front that LifeWave wants you to be comfortable, okay? And this is an awesome way to represent the company also. Now, in closing out this part of the presentation, phase one, I want you to know, I want you to take a screenshot of this or a photo shot, this website. Thisisit.info.com. If you're on here with me today, and after you've seen what you've seen, if you've still got questions or you say to me, I want some more information, go to this website right here. It'll provide all of the information you could possibly ever want. And then you can get back with me. Well, I tell you what, this concludes phase one of our presentation. The next few slides are for those people who are interested in the product as well as the financial opportunity of it. I was interested in both. I was more interested in the product and what it could do for my wife and other people that I care about. But then the financial aspect of it was too big for me to pass up. So we're gonna ease right on into phase one. And if you are one of those that just wanted the product, I'll understand if you leave now. But it's just a few pages. You might enjoy seeing what I've got to say anyway. Okay, here's what we're going to do. Phase two, the business. Folks, I've been in this industry for 29 years, and this is the most prolific business opportunity I have ever seen. My wife and I owned 3 franchises that we paid almost $2 million for. Well, I don't know what to impress upon you other than just tell you that. It is a once in a lifetime thing, and I am so glad I looked and Mark had the patience with me to learn what I needed to learn. So I'm going to share some information with you, and so just kind of hang on there. I'm going to reiterate for those that are looking at the business again. This page, as a business builder, you got to be excited that it's not a brand new startup, because 9 out of 10 of those do not make it. And the fact that this company went 3,000% increase from 18 to 24, open all over the world. It's not a Me Too product. It's patented. I mean, we don't have the competition that others do. There is no one else playing in this arena. Another thing is that we're located all over the world. I said a little earlier, there's 80 countries that we're in. This is just some of them right here. Okay, all of the countries. And you know what? LifeWave itself is corporate offices in many different places in the world: Utah, Ireland, Philippines, Taiwan, Malaysia, Japan. Just recently, we were enrolling a person from South Africa, and one of the questions they had, Mark, was, how do I get my products if I become a brand partner? Well, I didn't know, so I called corporate and they said, oh, South Africa, oh, we have distribution centers there. And what I found out was they've got corporate offices in the location you're looking at, but they've got distribution centers on every continent. I mean, this is pretty amazing. I was able to tell that person, you get yours as fast as I do mine in about 3 or 4 or 5 days. So as a business builder, this has got to excite you. And there's 3 ways that you can get started. I've already gone through these 3 ways, the first 2. The third one is the brand partner. for someone that wants to use the technology plus join our team and create a part-time income. It's called a brand partner. Some companies call them associates and some business partners. We're a brand partner. Okay. You can do it part-time. You get to share with the people you care about. And here are the three ways that you can enroll as a brand partner. It's the three kits. Keep in mind this, it costs you nothing to become affiliated with LifeWave. Nothing. It does not cost you anything to become a rep for this company. The only cost is what inventory do you want to start with? That was something pretty familiar with me because of owning traditional businesses. You can start at the premium level, and that gives you 20 sleeves of X39. Here we go. 20 sleeves of X39. Uh, that gives you the very best price of $87.50 per sleeve. That's $1,750 to start your business. Or you can start at the advanced position. The advanced position is $535. It gives you 6 sleeves of X39. And again, it's $535. The price for that is $89.17. It also opens up the entire compensation plan for you. Right there, the advanced is the most important position you're looking at. It opens up everything. Or if $535 is a problem for you, you can come in at the core level for $295 and get 3 sleeves of X39, start building your business and making some money, and you can upgrade to advance. These are the 3 ways that you can come into the business. It's pretty simple. And I hope you will consider joining our team. And that's what I wanted to share with both of them. Mark, why don't you come in here and just kind of give us some closing thoughts? Mark is a senior presidential director and a great friend, and he's doing really good in this business.
Well, yeah, my pleasure. I guess senior presidential director for some don't even, I mean, that they probably don't know what it is, but it's actually, you've reached the top of the company, and it's nothing to, brag about. We just changed a lot of people's lives, but, just like, Donnie and Susan, when Susan, came on board November of last year, I mean, they hit the top in 6 months, so it's very doable for people. I mean, you can change people's lives because we do 2 things here. We can help someone physically with issues that are going on with the body, as Donnie said, with this stem cell activation patch to have the body do what God designed it to do. And because it works on everybody all the time, every time, you just got to give it enough time. And most people don't give it enough time. It took me 10 months. If I would have stopped prior to 10 months, I would have never got my miracle. And it's doing a whole lot more now. Now I'm not wearing reading glasses. My wife, for like 2 days ago, she was able to read a book without her glasses. I mean, but that was 22 months being on the patch. Would you be willing to stay on it for long-term? This is a long-term commitment for somebody if you really want to, reverse age your body, because there's nothing like it. There's no competition in the field that we are in internationally till 2040. Let that sink in. Until 2040, we are the only ones that have this most amazing technology that is helping people all across the world. Now, also, we help on the financial side. There's 2 issues people have come, the new year's coming up. It's either going to be physical or it's going to be financial. And this technology helps people on both sides, because we're in the life-changing business. When your life changes, the LifeWave is in me. I don't do LifeWave. It is in me. I share it with everybody I can because I know I have something that can change their life. We were just at Ace just before this call. Someone's wearing a back brace, And did I walk past him without sharing? No, because he doesn't know anything about it. I just said, "Hey, have you seen this? Have you ever heard about this?" And I shared the information. I said, "This is going to change your life. You're the one to make the decision, but I just wanted to share this with you so you know that it's out there. So it's in us. And if you change enough people's lives, your life will be changed financially. As an entrepreneur, I've done this part-time now since January of last year. We dabbled in it prior to that, maybe about 2 months prior. But January of last year, 12 months has changed our lives. If my friend said, "Hey, in 12 months you're going to be earning more than both your companies combined, that you've owned one for 34 years, one for 14," I would have said, "There's no way." But it has. It has literally changed our lives financially. That we're able to do the things that have the freedom that I've always wanted to have. Go be able to we went to the beach. Just decided the day, say, "Hey, let's go to Florida." We just went away for a week. I wouldn't have been able to do that prior to me saying yes in this, just to wear the patch. And because of that, it's allowed the freedoms that we have to do that. And it can allow you the freedom to do the same thing, because that's what it's all about. We go out and change people's lives, and whatever freedom it is that you want, if it's freedom of debt, freedom of retirement. I have no retirement plan because I'm an entrepreneur. This is a pretty lucrative retirement plan I've been introduced to, and I'm so grateful and I'm thankful every day that my friend reached out to me August 26th of 2023 and shared this technology with me, because ever since then, we've been able to touch a lot of people's lives. And if you have a heart, which I truly believe you do, you have a heart to help people, and that's all we do. We go out, share this information, change people's lives through this technology once they peel and stick this patch on, and then you can be blessed in all forms or fashions. I think the biggest thing that jazzes me up, Donnie, is hearing your story. If it wasn't for our yes, you wouldn't have the results and all the other lives that have been trickled and rippled through all your contacts and all the people that you've reached out to. And I think that's the blessing of this entire business, that we get to change people's lives, all through David Schmidt's incredible brain to develop this most prolific technology I've ever seen in my lifetime. So I sure hope that you saw something that for definitely make a decision to just peel and stick the patch on your body and have your body do what's necessary, and let's change your life. But if you have desire to maybe do more, and you might have loved ones that that are maybe ill or have different types of issues, that we could change their lives. We love to help people and educate them about what this is all about, and be a catalyst to help them in their life change as well. So hopefully you might see something there. Get back with Donnie or whoever shared this with you, and they can discuss further. But hey, thanks, Donnie. It's definitely a pleasure.
You bet. Thank you, Mark.